Hey there, welcome to Carcassonne. It's tonight with a doubleheader. First off, it's Bluste versus El Duderino from Austria. Uh, well, the Austrian definitely won't make the playoffs, but he has some fight in him. Had a close match versus MTU. Could have won that, should have won that actually. And then a close match versus a world champion QAZ as well. So it's not unfathomable for them to win today's match, which would be problematic for Bluste. On the other hand, by now he has a pretty strong tiebreaker, and even a 1-2 lost match here would still secure him the playoff ticket, as there aren't enough folks still out there who could leapfrog him. Because with 1-2 he would be at 8-6, and all these folks, no, MTU and Acetos might, but these folks over here, rather these four, could only get to a 7-5 or 6-4 tiebreaker, and that won't be enough to catch Bluste. Similar circumstances in our second game. That's Nallerheim versus Mate. Mate is already also out of contention, can't make the playoffs anymore. Nallerheim can, he just needs a win here. Great for him is that with and Phosphate, these two here sitting in 13 and 15, will play each other, so only one of them could actually land some place before Nallerheim, and so with the win today, he would definitely leapfrog Krish and Gladki Alex, and that would be enough to secure a ticket, as again, a strong tiebreaker secures this. The other folks who are still behind him and could still get to 3 match wins have a worse tiebreaker. So Bluste, Croatian master, Croatian team captain, experienced international, rating evolution over here, reached the master level a few years ago, in 2024, I think, currently sitting at 571. That's rather low for him. And then on the other side is El Duderino. I think they even made the master ranks last year, or no, 2024 as well. Usually around, more or less around 500 rated. There's a bit of history between these two, but it's years ago, so doesn't really matter. And there is more history as well between Nallerheim and Mate, but I'll tell you more about that later on. For now, let's check whether our protagonists for the first match have started, and they just did. So first move by El Duderino is the starting player here in our first game. They opted to play the tournament mode, so 15 minutes per player per game on the clock. Yeah, definitely not ideal tiles for yellow to start the game. A straight, a curve. At least he gets to equalize Blue City here, and quite likely will now restrict Blue's 8-pointer. Yellow doesn't. Goes for another option, which I actually don't like in this case. The threat here of this equalization is strong enough, and if you want to connect there, why add something to a shared city, even if it's in the future? Way stronger would have been to restrict Blue City to a starting tile and go for the kill later, because then you'd be able to win this mini battle with the road. If you don't do anything against this square, well, then it quite likely will be blue winning that mini battle. Again, I don't know why, but doesn't go for the restriction. Looks like they definitely want to close that road, which isn't the way you should play. Definitely not against Bluste, that's for sure. Seize the chances you have and pounce when you can. If you don't, well, you'll be bitten later on. Okay. I auto suggest this one, which is stronger. But doing nothing is definitely the wrong idea. So blue gets 8 points for the road, for the city. And yellow's road is still at 4 points. And in some cases, might even get restricted later on. Okay, not in this case. No early farmer. Bluste pre-blocks or pre-restricts yellow city there. Any road from the top, and this here is restricted to the dagger. So far, still 3 in the deck. Not the biggest of issues, but if you can avoid it, of course, you'd like to keep more options to fill this square. Yellow with a sacrifice here. This shiny shielded field Dorito to restrict blue city into a dagger, and as one is already gone, there are only 2 left to close the city. Plus, yellow threatens the kill over here with any tile with a field or city side there. Now restricting the square of blue's road to a crossroad. Blue with a semi-safe, at least taking away the immediate kill, which would have happened if they hadn't done anything over here, and giving themselves the chance to save this situation with a straight, for example. Meanwhile, yellow tries to build up a city of their own up top, while blue hopes to get their big city going. Yellow opts to enhance their situation, did not go for the kill here, which they could have even meepled the monastery. Blue doesn't save it, which wouldn't have been the worst move, actually, even with the meeple. But with the last one in hand, can't justify that. You never know. I mean, even if you have road ends, regular crossroads caps to get meeples back. And, well, the main reason for blue here was, of course, to threaten the kill, and this worked like a charm. And this kill here was only possible due to yellow's restriction up top. So instead of dead blue meeple, we see 2 dead yellow meeples. which in the end should give blue free rein here to create bigger features, like a nice shiny field, for example. So another dagger gone, only one left for blue. Yellow saves the road. And blue might just score these points and improve this situation. They don't. They go straight up for the city, which, considering there is only one dagger left, I don't like that much. But this here, I don't like even less. I like even less. Because this monastery could have restricted this city to the same dagger blue already needed over there. So in effect, by restricting this square, you would have killed basically this city and would have taken away all these caps to close that. And, well, gift blue a sizable lead and great chances to win this game. So, yeah, this definitely doesn't bode well for yellow's chances here in this game. Too many mistakes, too many suboptimal moves. But they own a 12-point field. They still have 3 straights to get a meeple back. This monastery is still completable. Blue city here doesn't really look that menacing. So it's definitely not all over. And yellow might as well draw both crossroads to not give blue the meeple back there. But just imagine this situation without this city here being closed, with blue still having to wait for the dagger. It would be so much better for yellow. Oh yeah. Thanks, Nebu. It's an 15-point field. No, 15-point field. This city is not yet connected, but this city is. Yeah. Double road monastery connection in the middle there. Looks a bit like a corn maze, right? Yeah. But crossroads for blue, and well, they should have the meeple majority for the remainder of this game. Another city added to yellow's field, but considering they have an 18-point field in their possession, 21-point field, sorry, this now was connected. A lead of 6 is flimsy, and blue does what they should do, attacks it, and quite likely will just connect. Yeah, sure, threatens this one. Doesn't really matter. Gutsy by yellow. Only one crossroads left. Multiple tiles to restrict this square here. Only could use the right shortcut. And blue goes for this restriction. Yeah. Nice farmer. Very nice farmer. So if yellow would like to get this road meeple back, they'd have to give up the field completely. And that's definitely not in their interest. So yellow as starting player has 3 moves left. They need to get the meeple back now, then attack the field and take it over again. Else they lose. There is an attack possible over here with the right kind of dagger and the crossroads later on. Bluste could take that away. There's also an attack possible here with either dagger or crossroads and connecting with the other dagger. Which Bluste can only decrease, because in this case the right-handed dagger could not be used to attack. Is there any chance for... Well, it doesn't. This here doesn't matter, because if Bluste decreases, yellow needs to draw the crossroads anyway, else this farmer gets into the field. So yeah, actually looks like yellow has either to draw the crossroads here or the dagger over there and then connect with the crossroads. There are options up top as well, and that seems to be even better, because both daggers work there, and then you could connect with the crossroads, or you use the crossroads and connect with one of the daggers. So we'll see whether he will find this option up top here. Looks to me like that's the move he has to go for, else he'll just lose, right? Yeah. Don't ask me why. I mean, this does nothing to your winning chances. Wouldn't have worked in this case, but I don't get it. So stats-wise, let me increase this for you. Yeah, pretty equalish. El Dorino had more caps, less roads. So actually, maybe even the better tiles, but what does it matter if you get the better tiles if you don't execute? And well, don't take stabs against your opponent's biggest threats. So in the end, 31 points, and that's definitely a bigger spread than the game was. So let's hope they'll find their game for the second, else this will be rather short. This time Bluste starts, takes 4 points, and the dude continues. Might have used the connection there for a few seconds, but who knows? Yeah, looks nice, does nothing. Why not just take a road for 2 points? I mean, there are road ends out there. And for example, if you have a road like this and get a rose, well then We have 3 points for the road and a nice city. So just dumping a straight in the beginning, um, except for very exceptional circumstances, isn't a great idea. There's a threat over here. The dude might restrict this to a dagger. Quadruple city, just discard it. And this here could lead to some meeple stasis for blue. Really prevents useful monastery build-ups here, as he has to wait to get the dagger there, unless this square here is filled beforehand, and it will now be filled by yellow. Honestly, you could even drop a farmer there, but who knows? This might get blocked as well, and then you have a farmer on a 6-point field. Doesn't really matter that much. Yeah, slight consolation for blue at least. They restrict yellow to the same dagger that they needed before. So early advantage for yellow. But of course, if this square here gets killed, the 1-point difference doesn't matter. Lucky you, yellow immediately gets the dagger. Now we have a 9-point field, which blue will take. Even secures this, takes away attacks here. Usually you'd rather not build a monastery up with a city like this due to restrictions here, but when the monastery is already dead and there is one of your opponent in the vicinity, this restriction actually is quite a nice one to execute. And blue quite likely doesn't even mind if this field were to stay at 9 points, as long as they keep it without a yellow meeple. That's totally fine. But on the other side, there's a 6-point field as well, which with the meeple majority should be yellows in the long run if they don't manage to attack blue's field here. Blue getting nice tiles, or at least one nice tile, but without an open city cap, the extender just goes to waste. No great spot available to score points or to start a city even. I could have gone for the monastery, a ruin here, but that doesn't really make sense with blue's meeple situation. Yellow creates another huge field for blue because when blue closed their road there, they dropped the farmer, and yellow gave all these green squares to this blue farmer when the field was restricted on the left side. So in that case, even this one here, which would have given blue another city, might have been a worthy alternative. On the other hand, there are options to attack this field. Problem being, really? dropping twin caps in your opponent's field next to your monastery. I don't know. Yeah, and now Blue's fields merged with 3 city caps to add more points there. Nonetheless, yellow is still ahead on the virtual scoreboard. Not anymore. Blue just added 5 points, 3 for the city, 3 for the road, and 1 for yellow's monastery. Yellow tries to close their city, doesn't care about blue's fields. Now they save this, so 4 vanillas left. But not a lot of caps over there. Only 1 left. The left-handed daggers are gone. The starting tiles are gone. There's just 1 rose to close this, and the continuation with the road Dorito, which is the only other tile that still fits there, would necessitate a lot more tiles. So with the road Dorito, they should rather self-restrict. But they only have a shoddy cow in hand and can't do anything about this situation. And now the city gets killed. No dagger left. Yeah, yellow doesn't count. The monastery is dead as well. Blue just added 6 points to their score. 3 for the field, 4 for the city, 1 to the monastery. And I mean, yellow still has chances with the meeple situation, this monastery, which still is completable. They aren't even bad. They could still tie this blue field here. As long as they don't waste more moves, like adding a vanilla over here, for example. It seems to be blue baiting yellow into another mistake, which would be defending the monastery. Else, this does not really make a lot of sense to me, although they have a field, a space rather, for the splitter available, so keeping the green space for a splitter isn't really necessary. And at this point, maybe they wanna bait yellow into attacking the field with at least 1 meeple, block this one for 0 points. Because blue's meeple situation isn't really healthy. So it looks like yellow is just counting now, finding out that this here in fact is dead, and this as well. Yeah, actually, I like this idea, but I would even like this a tad more over here, because there are no starting tiles left. And then it's killed easily. Yep, here we go. a 1-point move in this situation. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Oh, but they might even get away with it. Blue gets a rose, which is nice for them. Closing this city for 8. Dropping another city into the lap of this blue farmer here. But there is still this threat here. And now it's dealt with. This city is dead. The game isn't. Yellow could still attack over here. Here. Considering the moves so far and the ones in the first game, I'd have to doubt, though, that they will find these options. And then it's, well, down to the tiles anyway. So Bluste quite likely will kill these attack options the next turn, or even drop an insurance farmer themselves. Yeah, the field Dorito doesn't really do a lot. There are dead on arrival, no curves and no road monasteries out there. I don't know what. Oh man. Oh man. I don't have the right word. Let me look it up. Yeah, tragedy, fiasco, those would work. It's just painful to watch. So both games won by Bluste. And actually, he should have lost both of them. Yellow had enough chances and had the tiles to win them. They just weren't able to execute. Yeah, and don't ask me. Don't ask me. I don't know what this should accomplish. Looks like they don't count at all. Because basically they took away a 5-point move. Connecting Blues Farmer into Blues Fields would have deducted these 3. 2 for the road would have been okay. And on the other hand, they could have taken these 4 as well. In the end, they go for 3, whatever. I'm glad it's over. Actually. Yeah, and I mean, Bluste got 11 roads. Come on. Yeah, more crossroads for yellow. Caps equal extenders in blue's favor. But actually, they were only able to use 1 profitably. Monasteries in yellow's favor. And with this progression of this game, yeah, against a better player, I'm pretty sure Bluste would have lost 2-0 even. So half an hour done. And then let's quickly refresh standings here. So Bluste will end up with a tiebreaker of 9-4 and 4 match wins. Let's go to the simulator so we actually can input the 2-0 here. Let's check 9-4. Here we go. There's Bluste. And he Has not secured a round 16 ticket though, because these three here could still overtake him. So with the secondary tiebreakers, it doesn't matter actually for Tito and Pakshi. Both with a 2-1 win would leapfrog Bluste. As for Pose at 7-3, if he doesn't want to rely on the opponent match wins, he'd need to win 2-0 to secure leapfrogging Bluste, and in this case, yeah, around 16 ticket. And then there's Wahe also. Plays against Glovia, if I remember correctly. At best, could get to the same games won, games lost tiebreaker as Bluste, and then it would come down to the opponent match wins, maybe even opponent games difference. And in that case, it depends on your 5 opponents doing, and so I won't dive into this one. Yeah, that's an apt summary, Otto. I mean, nothing really applies if one party just puzzles and the other plays Carcassonne, right? Yeah, not sure. I mean, the dude had questionable moves, to say the least, against MTU, but there were also quite a few strong ones. In the end, as I said, they wasted the third game, that's for sure. Don't remember the game versus QAZ. Yeah, I can't recall what happened there in the third one. But at least the one versus Bluste, yeah, I don't get it. But it is what it is, so this one is over. Still 36 minutes to go. Oh, no, not 36 minutes to go. It's 36. So I'm not really in the mood to go over all the mistakes by Dude here again, unless someone wants to talk about a specific situation, then we could dive into that. Let's check whether there are currently other matches running. No, but looks like Fabien and Boulin have played in the meantime. Let's check out their tournament situation. I think both were done anyway. Yeah. So Boulin was able to beat Fabien. Yeah, and that's just the luck of the draw. All these 5 folks here definitely got a good draw by getting Fabien out of pot 1, it seems. So then let's take a closer look at Nallerheim's situation. So as I've mentioned earlier, Viv will play against Phosphate, and that's great news for Otto, because no matter what happens in the game between Viv and Phosphate, actually I should say Viv and not Viv, Otto will definitely stay ahead of one of them if he wins his match versus Matej. So let's give him A close match win. Then there is Viv and Phosphate. I don't know, close win for Viv. And he leapfrogs Otto, has the same games tiebreaker in this case. Might, of course, turn out differently if Otto just wins 2-0. Could even leapfrog more of these folks here, in some cases even Sporter and Guru if those were to lose, but let's just use the close one here. So then we have Teshe who play against Sporter, which again is good news for Otto because he quite likely will leapfrog either of them. Unless Teshe were to win a close one, then both would stay ahead of Otto. So let's just take this. Let's give Adria a win as well. And Nallerheim is still in 12th place. So that's more or less what would be the most likeliest outcome, staying in 12, maybe 11, maybe 10, whatever. The crucial part here is winning today. Because there are still... No, there is only one over here. And that's Tompa, having 2 matches won, 2 matches lost, but a way worse tiebreaker than Otto's. So even a 2-0 wouldn't allow Tompa to leapfrog Nallerheim. And Krishna already played today against Portgard. Yeah. 1-0. Also not a better tiebreaker than Nallerheim. So the only way basically for Nallerheim not to make the playoffs would be a loss. Let's check. Yeah. Even if Tompa were to lose, even the close loss would relegate him into a place behind Gladki, Alex, and Krishna, and then there's no chance to make the playoffs. Yeah, and for Mate, on the other hand, there's nothing to be done. He'd stay in the mushy middle or might even drop down further, depending on the outcome. But let's hope he'll fight for his honor and will deliver a good game, a good match. So 20 minutes. Then let's take a look at a few situations here which happened earlier. So for one, there was one situation in Aki Stacks, a third game. Oh yeah, Otto, I already have this set up. What Otto mentions, I will tell you later on as well, but now that he mentions this, let me quickly show you. 2 years ago, the match between Mate and Otto happened in the Champions League in the round of 16. In these 3 games over here. And in the second one, Otto found a great field invasion, but nonetheless lost out on a coin flip on his last tile. And the third one I actually didn't check. So We'll see whether Matei will be able to replicate that. My money definitely would be on Nallerheim today, but who knows? Who knows? So this situation here, yeah, looks like the dude didn't abandon the third game. Whatever. Do I have the wrong game? I have the wrong game. I think it was the third one. Let's find out. That's not it. That's not it. Then it was the third. What gives, what gives, what gives? So we go to move 130 something. 135. So we have a huge field here. And there are farmers all over the place. There is one yellow farmer over here that can't connect anymore. Actually, let me turn on the dead spaces. That makes it easier for this at least. And then we have blue farmers here and there versus 2 farmers by yellow as well. And the third one up top from blue, hoping to connect into this main field. When blue went here, there were still 2 crossroads left. One was just drawn by yellow, so there's only one still in the deck. And blue is the starting player. So they have a 2 in 3 chance because they get to draw twice versus yellow, who will only get 1 more tile. So 2 in 3 chance for blue to get the crossroads, connect here, and then just win this field, which is worth, I don't even know, 27 if I haven't missed anything. Yeah, looks okay. Doesn't look like the dagger could still do anything about the situation. So 27 points when you're down 12 surely is enough. And yellow can't do anything about this situation. But they can do something to increase their winning chance. Again, if blue has the 2 in 3 chance to connect there, then yellow has a 1 in 3 chance to get the dagger and effectively a 1 in 3 chance to win this game. But what should they do? Well, it's about the field. Find a way to attack the field here. So if blue connects, you need to reconnect, and just in that case, you tie the field again, and a tied field would lead to a win here, not by plus 12 quite likely, but that doesn't matter. So there are 2 options for this move here. Either one would be fine. Both ninjas here would work with the dagger. So in this case, yellow just doubled their winning probability from 1 in 3 to 2 in 3, because now they have the chance to just outdraw blue and get the crossroads. And if that does not work, well, they could get the dagger on their turn and just connect either up top to this blue farmer or over here to connect into the main field. Both times with 4 additional points, but these 4 points don't matter. Yeah, so the gist here is, if you can't do anything about a specific situation, well, try to find other moves to better your chances. In the end, yellow didn't. They just took this road here, just in case blue connects. If that were to happen now, well, yellow would get another point, blue would get these 3 here, although might even take the top 3 as they'd get this meeple back and wouldn't allow yellow to snatch the 5-point road. Yeah, should be more precise. So 4 points for blue, 1 point for yellow, with the 27-point field and 15 points difference. His road by yellow doesn't do anything. The 1 additional point doesn't do anything. It does not matter. What matters is the field. So they should have attacked this. They didn't find this, but it is what it is. So then I'll take a quick break and I'll be back in 7 minutes. Hey folks, I'm back. So after a rather underwhelming match before where, Bluste easily dispatched the Austrian El Dorino with a clean sweep. Let's keep our fingers crossed for a match that actually deserves to be called a match. This one here between Nallerheim and Matej. Matej has nothing to fight for except his honor. He definitely doesn't have a chance anymore to reach the playoffs. But he could kick out Nallerheim. And isn't that a great scalp to get, especially if you can do so a second time? So let's take a closer look here. Nallerheim currently residing at 2 match wins, has a good tiebreaker. Basically, just needs to win here. A loss, and he's done, because with a loss, he definitely won't catch Gladki Alex and Krisner over here, who already have secured 3 match wins. But a win and his tiebreaker here will secure at least a leapfrogging these two. And also either staying ahead of Phosphate or overtaking with as well, because these two will meet, I think even tomorrow. Am I streaming that one? I think so. Let me check. Yeah, tomorrow at 13 UTC, it's Weave versus Phosphate for a playoff ticket. So adjust your schedule accordingly. So what did I say? Yeah, Nallerheim needs to win. Matej will try to frog that. Quick look at the rating evolution. I mean, you know the deal. Otto with a top rating of, I don't know, 860 something. I think so, 870 maybe. I don't know. Doesn't really matter. Experience. Clear a favorite today, of course. On the other side, it's Matej, who's also very experienced. 13,000 games on BGA, but very likely a lot more on other platforms, and definitely hundreds in live games as well. I think he was bronze medalist in the World Championships multiple times, reached the semifinals 4 times, if I remember correctly. So we'll see. Yeah, I talked about the history between these two. And there was a match back in February 2 years ago. This took place in the round of 16 in the inaugural Champions League season. And there, Matej was able to oust Nallerheim. So he definitely will go for a replication of this feat today. We'll see. I have no stakes in this group anymore. I wasted my chances, and so I just hope for a close match, preferably one with a tiebreaker, and letting Otto sweat a bit can't really hurt, right? Hi, Helge. So, yeah, Matej's expected at the table, but doesn't look like he's online. Yeah, he's offline. Great. Okay, let me take a sip of water. Maybe he turns up somehow, but I don't know. It's a minute past. Yeah, sure, it's your last match, but if the tournament is already set up, I think he would lose the first game if he doesn't show, but we'll see. Wow. I mean, I'd prefer an underwhelming match like the first one we witnessed over a no-show any day of the week, but actually it's just annoying. Let me see. Yeah, still nothing here. And we'll wait. I think at 5 minutes past, yeah, Mate should be in the game, else I'm not sure. Well, let's actually check the rules. Whether this will then be a forced loss for Mate or not. What happens if should be the case. Okay, reschedule. No lodge. No lodge. What's lodge? No lost match or game. Yeah, lodge is lost match. Okay, got it. Got it. It's so then we quite likely will see a rescheduled one, and I just wasted some time. I mean, it's an idea, Helge, but Mate ain't Magnus Carlsen. So, nah, he's not from Norway. He doesn't possess the Carlsen skills. He's no world champion. He's no GOAT for sure. So maybe he couldn't find his lucky shirt or something, or changed his trousers to jeans or whatever, and Sergey saw him and disqualified him from the tournament. But it looks like there won't be anything happen today. Let me. Oh, game started. Wow. You just have to call them out. You just have to say nothing will happen, and then here we go. Thank Mate for turning up and taking his time. Whoa. 2 moves, almost 10 seconds per move. This looks actually great. Yeah. His usual very quick style. Nothing so far. So he plays in a more relaxed manner. Although not convinced this was the better idea than the direct restriction of Bluste City. But he gets the 4th road in a row to restrict Bluste City to a dagger. And finally, a road for blue, which they can't really do a lot with, so they take away easy monastery squares from yellow. Definitely not great having this forced quad on your city and then your opponent drawing one of the 3 daggers to close it over here. Yeah, these 2 quite likely will use this to become a ruin. And then it's just about what do you do? Secure this on the right side, for example, seems a good idea. Quad crossroads is gone. So Mate loses the starting player advantage. After getting all these roads to build up, this one. Now Otto tries to take it away, which definitely not great for yellow. Basically, 5 moves wasted on this road. Maybe with this exception, the farmer definitely will be useful. And also, this is Matej's style, dropping early farmers. This year, though, I mean, yeah, sure, creating the threat of killing this one is nice, but not with a city cap. I mean, come on. You have a field. Don't gift blue anything. The city will be there for quite some time, and as this is already the last dagger after yellow closed their city with the second one, Otto now has to answer whether he would still like to keep this a threat going or not, and he opts to continue with the city. Will be tricky. Attacks will be incoming, and continuations with Dorito aren't great, as then you just supply an attacking spot to yellow. So the most secure setup, build up, would be triple city over here. And it just so happens that he had one in hand. Yeah, iffy situation for yellow's monastery. Okay, if you get the road monastery, it's great, sure. The problem, though, is this tiny little road, and any city tile over here would immediately kill both. As we've already know, all 3 left-handed daggers are gone. So yeah, Otto might kill these 2 now. Don't think there is anything that's more relevant. Maybe this one here, because once he goes here, he has this road which he could complete. I don't know. I think with all these triple cities and Doritos still out there, I would have rather gone for a secure build-up. I mean, he has the lead currently. This year, to me, is too volatile, giving yellow the chance to equalize this one and basically tie the score. I don't like this. Would have preferred for 1 the kill, and then maybe even the city. I don't know what to make of Blue's move here. To me, this isn't typical for Nallerheim, giving your opponent a chance to equalize a, what is it, 10-point city? 10-point possible rune, whatever. Yeah, and look here. Instead of 2 dead meeples, yellow got away with the 4-point road and gets the monk back. And now they have taken the lead. And this was absolutely preventable. More quick points for yellow. Blue builds up the city, but as this is easily killed over here with any road, I wouldn't bet money, not even a single cent, on the completion of the city. And these two on the right side threaten to take over this sole blue horse dweller there. At least a few quick points for blue, but I mean, he still has good tiles here. Could even go for the field invasion with the 4 vanillas, but not right now. I think blue's situation isn't desperate enough to go for an option like that with your last meeple. If he had 2 in hand, I'm pretty sure this move here would be executed. But it looks to me like blue first has to get this road meeple back, and that's not a given. There aren't a lot of road ends available, 5, and there is this problem here, for example, which could take away all road ends but the road monastery. So maybe just turning the road to the outside might be a good idea. Yeah. The blue horse dweller. Okay. This is a ruin. But this monastery is dead as well, because there's no cow left for the square, and if a field Dorito will land there, then this square would be dead. So at least good news for blue, even only partly so. A 1 mini battle over here. Yeah, again, there's still this situation. We'll see whether blue will do something about it. Of course, if you go here, there's always the risk of yellow attacking your road, but I'd rather actually take that risk over getting restricted. But he opts to go for the field immediately, which is so rather. Sure, there are already 2 closed cities on the field, and if you happen to get the vanilla, there will be a 3rd one. Apart from that, the field sure has potential, but the potential has to hit. So we'll see. Blue definitely needs one of these vanillas on the next 2 or 3 moves, or a road end. Else they'll suffer, and they might suffer quite some time if they don't get a meeple back. So he takes away easy completions from yellow's docket here by bending the city to the outside. Also trying to kill this over here. tough news for blue. Yellow draws 2 of the road ends blue so desperately needs. Again, another curvy for Nallerheim. Yellow secured the left side of the city, but looks like it's almost dead. There's not a lot to go there, only the horse now. And then there is only one Dorito left. And of course, the bunch of vanillas, but this here is more a pipe dream than anything else. Yeah, and now this city is dead, as this square is dead. But doesn't matter. Yellow will score these points, and now they are at plus 10. But if this vanilla hits, it's a 8-point move for blue. Yeah, looks like 8 points. So 4 for the city, 1 for the monastery, and this one here will share the field with Blue's meeple for still 6 points. And this is the last road end for yellow. They quite likely will claim the field here, give themselves a chance to draw a curve to score 3 more points. There is another 6-point field on the left side. And now they're at plus 19. And it hurts for blue. It hurts. This move and this one. And of course, your opponent outdrawing you by, I don't know, so many tiles in a row. All the road ends, 2 vanillas, 3 vanillas, and the final one hits, but it's too late. Yeah, rough draw, but I mean, he's only at minus 17. 10 points. And all the value lost by not having a meeple, I mean, wasn't really that much because he got basically only curves, right? So overall, this looks fine, but in particular, not really in Blue's favor. So when did Blue place this farmer? I think might have been this one. Yeah, I think it was this one. So the retros here, an extender, only one city cap after they placed the farmer. So no road ends. Yeah, didn't really lose a lot of value there. Yeah, I mean, sure, it's a totally annoying permutation in the end, but I'm still not convinced. So if Otto turns up later, then let's just take another look at the dagger move. This was 36, no, 60. So for now, let's check whether he will be able to force the decider and will be able to keep his playoffs chances alive, or if Mate manages again to oust the Finn from the Champions League. Beautiful monastery spot for blue. And field meeple incoming. Oh, monastery is definitely better. Yeah, I mean, what Helge says, the farmer move is totally understandable, and it's definitely a move worthy of consideration. The one problem being that you effectively attack the 9-point field, given once your city is closed that it would become a 9-point field. And you had 4 chances, so good, very good chances to either get a vanilla rather soonish, or at least the road end to get the meeple back. So basically, he had 8 of, I don't know, 30 tiles or something to get a meeple back, and that's nothing to sneeze at. So stacked deck in the end there didn't help, but the mistake, at least in my book, it's a mistake, was made earlier, and the whole game quite likely would have turned out differently if it weren't for this dagger move. And it looks not great again, but there's hope for blue, even though yellow just closed this beauty 20-point city. This square here is easy to kill. But blue doesn't want to waste a juicy splitter on a simple monastery kill. The threat that yellow might draw the road monastery is not significant enough to act against the square immediately, and there is basically the same restriction to yellow's monastery on the left side as well, although that one wasn't threatened yet. It now is, due to blue's horse here. Blue starts a new city, indirectly protects the monastery square, the square next to the monastery. Indirectly protects the cap there, which of course they'd like to claim for a healthy 7 points influx on the scoreboard. Yeah, yellow takes away 1 iffy square. Didn't go on the right side, as that would have increased blue's field. So in an ideal world, they'd build up the monastery on the left, and then later go over here and attack the field, while also having only the 1 square to fill. Another iffy monastery for yellow. Not looking great. And the road here could also be severely restricted from the top. Yeah, but Nallerheim is hesitant to do something about it, because whatever he would do, for one, would restrict the potential of his field and set up a road monastery. So he'd rather hopes to get a cow to kill this, in proper fashion without wasting more useful tiles and without giving one juicy out to yellow. Yeah, yellow closed the road, threatened to drop a farmer here. Blue, of course, takes this away. Here we go, a monastery built up. Continues. Ideal next step would be this one. On the other hand, leaving this here for blue to take isn't that great. But for now, yellow just needs to get some meeples back. Get a crossroad over here, city caps there. Yeah, blue adds another cap to their farm. Also threatens this one. Still 2 starting tiles left, so straight over here would do some damage. But it's obviously not enough to the blue meeple, blue guy here. They need to score some points, and there is, or was rather, a better threat available. This one here, for example, would have killed this city meeple, as all left-handed daggers are gone. Yellow doesn't want to wait for curves here. Doesn't like to see blue restricting their monastery even further and creates the sinister hamster. Now yellow city is finally dead. Blue closed their one, dropped an insurance farmer. And now it's all set up for blue to manage this into a win. They still have loads of city caps to come to add to their field. Now that there's only one starting tile left, they could even justify adding this one to their field for 2 points. And then they basically would just need to dodge the road monastery. That definitely will be critical here. It's rather atypical for Mate. Usually, at least in my experience, he goes for farms, but with these monasteries and the early city here, seemingly wasn't in the cards. Yeah, blue takes away one option to attack the field, but drops the cap in a way which could lead to an immediate kill of this possible 7-pointer. And yellow snatches this cap immediately, of course. Might suffer though. Not a lot of city plus road pieces out there, only 3 left. Starting tile, which yellow could really use here. Rose and a road Dorito. So yeah, this restriction by Nallerheim might be okay. He could also try to thwart this meeple's chances, but as it's not easy to prevent the completion of the city, he opts for this one, and rightfully so. Yeah, that's the trouble when you only have one meeple in hand, and there's still this road monastery out there. But leaving these 4 points for blue, tricky. At least yellow got help from the deck by getting one of the 3 city plus road pieces, and there's the road monastery in blue's hands. Quite likely they'll side with Olivia. He takes the 8-point monastery spot, 7, 10 points net. And with this one, I would have liked the move up top for yellow, because it especially takes away the quad city options to kill this city. And there were still 4 caps left to close it. Whereas now I'm convinced that blue will go there. The only question for them is, do you pick the left or the right spot? And in this case, I'd say the left should be it. Any road piece here or there would be pretty devastating. Over here, it would be an immediate kill. Over there, it would basically cripple the city. What have I missed here? I mean, blue I get going for the points. He needs points, sure, but yellow, yeah. The city is dead now, and it would have scored a lot. Okay, he opts for a secondary field. Could work. Blue doesn't have a meeple in hand. This one here sat there, I don't know, for 20 moves or so. Doesn't get a road end again. Yellow gets a cap, pads their secondary fields. Blue at least gets to improve this one. Blue gets this one. Yellow tries to harass. Blue city up top, and now we'll see a monastery. Might be a tad early when there are still 2 caps left. So what is there? Well, there's this chance for blue to tie a 9-point field. And they are the second player. So these 9 points would take care of a big majority of this scoring board deficit. And then there are the 2 caps to close your city up top. So do you bank your game on getting a cap for 5 plus dropping a farmer for 8 and then outscoring your opponent the rest of the way? And there is a 6-point secondary field available, for example, although that could still be unified with the main field. And then there are, he goes for the field attack. Yellow will go for what? Yellow didn't go for the restriction and then just lose. Blue scores the 7 points there. and wins. Yeah, I don't think that this 1 point improves your winning chances. Whereas restricting Blue City up top to a 50-50 quite surely would have. Yeah, this one here, at least to me, was a blunder. Yeah, sure, Helge. Blue was down 10 points, and as I said, the field is only 9 points, but in some permutations, when yellow would go for the restriction up top, blue could have dropped 2 points on their city, or rather close this one for 3 points. Oh no, not 3 points once the field is united. Yeah, but this handling here, I mean, if you set up this option to restrict blue, well, execute. Just take away one of the caps. Yeah, a shame. A shame for Mate, but something to look for again in the analysis. But again, great start for yellow. The city is blues, the road was yellows, and yellow with 2 Lucy monasteries. Blue follows suit, closes the road, drops a farmer, countering yellow's usual ways by being first on the farm. And it will be a huge farm. So the key for yellow will be to get their monks liberated ASAP. And then they should have the advantage, as the early scoreboard lead after building up these monasteries could be significant. Yeah, it's 5 points, but the chance to restrict these two here might definitely be very enticing to me. So I would have at least thought a few seconds about continuing my city there. So then we might see yellow attacking the square from the right side. Okay, they might have their cake and eat it too. Yeah, blue goes for the less volatile option. Could have taken this cap as well, as this is a shared square of both monasteries. Doesn't really matter that much. Yeah, and with their second try, they went for it. In the meantime, yellow obstructed blue city by gifting them 2 points. A rather venomous gift. And after this extender, prospects of these 2 meeples here are looking pretty grim. Yeah. So blue would either need to hope to get the dagger there, but that hope might be in vain. So they could roll the dice and go for a move like this one and hope to outdraw yellow to at least kill 2 yellow meeples and hope to get maybe even the splitter, but they don't roll the dice. Now these 2 meeples are dead. 2 blue casualties over here. The city is still alive. There are still 3 daggers left. Yeah, I get this, but I mean, this is a huge threat, and doing something about it and giving yourself the chance to attack it, or at least to kill it there, should have at least been a consideration. But yellow, as usual, prefers the direct approach rather, taking away splitters from blue's arsenal, although redirecting splitters, as blue could use one over there. So blue tries to harass it. Yeah, blue with this approach, as that would leave them way more tiles to close the city over here than the, in air quotes, normal build-up would. Ooh, no, 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 no. No, 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 no. You can't meeple that city. No, you can't. And the same might happen over there if yellow doesn't get a vanilla or another city cap to close this immediately, or maybe a Dorito to at least prevent the immediate kill. And now this is dead as well. Oh. I don't know why. This is dead. It's dead, and there is a huge ass threat in the building. Yeah, blue just has to wait. Maybe they'd even drop the extender there just to restrict this square, so yellow can't really attack from there with roads. They'd have to attack from the left side. I think that, yeah, given the current situation, when yellow doesn't care about the city. Okay. This here also is okay. Although closing this won't be easy. No matter whether you take it from the left or right side. From the left, an immediate kill would be possible, and vice versa, just with different tiles. If I can rotate it, so this would be a kill, and severe restrictions would be possible as well. Again? Oh man. Yeah. So blue closed the city, adds another farmer there, and basically just won the game, as yellow was way too hesitant in addressing this threat here. And now blue's at +9. There's not a lot that could still go wrong. Basically, this city here. And of course, a field attack. Blue's field right now is worth 12 points, the bigger of these two. And the secondary field is at 6. The problem for yellow is if they want to attack blue's field, they might need to kill the square first, as not to give blue an easy second farmer on the main field. Okay, yellow doesn't want to attack the field, and then we'll see. They still have this city. It's worth 5. If closed 14, that's 9 points, but -3. So only 6, and they're down 11. They might need, instead of going for the city, roll the dice on this one, claiming it, hoping that... Yeah, and then they kill their city. I mean, even this here would still have worked. Vanilla over here, dagger or rose there, but this is just not it. So in the end, Mate plays like the Austrian roughly 2 hours ago. Well, not 2 hours ago, but in the earlier match, El Dudornio didn't count scrap, and Mate just killed his last chance. I don't get it. But there's good news. One of the strongest players out there will secure a playoff ticket, and that's Nallerheim. In my book, this is overall deserved, especially in this match here. Yeah, that's the difference between taking your time, thinking about your moves, and then just doling them out like there's no tomorrow. Yeah, also not sure what this should accomplish, but whatever. So then let's wait for our protagonist. Would guess that Otto will appear, and then we will ask him about his considerations regarding the dagger in the first game. Hey, Krish. Oh, by the way, do you prefer Krishna with a Z or Krishna like Hare Krishna? Krish, you had no playoff chances, no matter the outcome of this game. At least I'm pretty sure. So Nallerheim won. Yeah, congrats. No Not good game. Definitely not. Yeah, I'm pretty sure, but it's you, so let's check. Oh, sorry, I've mixed you up. Yeah, you had. Otto should have just lost, right? And yeah, sorry, my bad. Zoom, did I mix you up? I don't know. Sorry. So then Chris is out, right? So Otto 1-1 moves into 10th place, and either with or phosphate, yeah, will reach the playoffs. Both have way stronger secondary tiebreakers than Chris here. And again, they are playing against each other. So either one of them will get to 3 match wins. Yeah, I saw your 2-0 earlier. I just forgot about it. I don't know what I did mix up there. You were, of course, correct. So then, no Otto yet, but let's find the move which we'd like to talk about. Would expect him to turn up. If not, we'll do without the fin. So there was a dagger move, and I think it was the second dagger in the game. That's move 60. Yep, that's it. So at this point, yeah, hey Nallerheim, hey Otto. Definitely not your prettiest performance. Right in time though. And I hope you thanked Matej for wasting the match. So about, hey Napalm, about this dagger here though, I have questions. Why, please, go here? I mean, is it so bad to just kill these 2 meeples? Is it so bad to give this road meeple a chance by continuing the city over here? At least threatening completions with a splitter. But why go there? Creating the need for more roads and giving yellow a chance to attack this very healthy city at this point. So let's wait whether Otto just needs to catch a breath. Okay, a simple miscount. Oh man. What is this? El Dudorinho hour or what? Oh no. He didn't count. Otto did count, just miscounted. Okay, that's tragic actually, especially as this is already the last dagger. It is already the last dagger. So you don't even need to account for dagger rotations. You just need to count daggers, right? Or am I wrong? No, this is the last dagger. 3 over here, 2 here. . So basically, this one Otto didn't do because he didn't notice that it would be a kill, as he thought there was still one dagger left. That I do understand. What I still don't understand is, why did you invite yellow to attack your city? I mean, there are still options to go for the usual approach, even if it might take some time, but why not? Yeah. Yeah, that I would have guessed. That's for sure. So this is explained, but why go there? I don't get it. I mean, sure, you have options to get meeples back galore, and could then use curves and roads profitably, straights. But at the price of sacrificing or possibly sacrificing your city, I mean, if you're down 20, I might get the antsiness of, is antsiness a word? I don't know. I might get being antsy to close this ASAP. So rolling the dice, hoping that, I don't know, yellow just whiffs, hits a road, and you get to close this with 2 Doritos and not in the cumbersome way needing 3 Doritos and a triple city. But why even risk this? I still don't get it. I mean, yeah, sure, City Crossroad would be nicer than the dagger, but it still creates an option to attack the city. I mean, was this necessary to risk this? I mean, you still have other chances to get meeples back, fight for the field later. I don't think you have to risk giving yellow a chance to attack your 9/10 point city. That's still puzzles me. Okay, diverting Matei's attention to this one, to use the divider over there. Okay, it's a consideration, but doesn't convince me though. And later on, well, tough luck, tough luck. That's all I can say about this one. I mean, you witnessed this. Otto lived through it. This stuff here. I mean, we can take a look at the farmer. When was this? 89 maybe? Nope, later. No, it was. So 20 tiles to go. Actually, 22. No, 23 actually. No, 22. Yeah, one was discarded. So 22 tiles to go. 4 over here to get a meeple back. 4 over here to get a meeple back. So that's 8. And I think I've said earlier of roughly 20, so wasn't far off. Yeah, 8 of 22 tiles is definitely a good chance to get a meeple back sooner rather than later. Although, as I've harped on and on and on and on about this one here in the stream, yellow surely could have restricted the road down to the road monastery. Turns out you don't need to do stuff like that if you just get all 4 road ends Yeah. So was this farmer really necessary? Well, that is a different question. As I've said, it's only a 6-point field, but there are still caps out there. So once the city is closed, it's a 9-point field. There aren't other great options to attack the field. This here is basically a surefire way to connect to the field. That it didn't work out earlier is just shoddy luck, and the permutation we witnessed is, I don't know, so unlikely to happen. Likely less than 1 or 2%. If one of you is really interested, we could calculate that, but I don't think that's necessary. Yeah, so preparation by Otto. Yeah, Matej didn't hurt him in the first game, but the second, I mean, let's look at that end game. So basically, it comes down to yellow's curve move. Or maybe we start a tad earlier. Let's check. Yeah, so we witnessed. So we still have. Oh, no, actually, let's rewind even more moves, because I would like to check the top left city situation. So Matej's up by 5 points. The city is at 5. So if closed 14, and well, closed with 2 caps, there's only 1 Dorito left, and adding the quad city Dorito and 2 more caps there is rather unlikely to happen. So 14 points instead of 5, that's +9, minus the 3 to Blue's field, so 6 points for 2 caps. Yeah, okay. My suggestion were just my suggestions to close this, to go with the caps there, at least with this one, was just wrong. Going here should be more profitable. So then let's skip a few moves, I think. Yeah, basically saving grace for Blue. Without this road monastery, without winning this flip, pretty convinced yellow would have won this. This is 8 points for the monastery, 1 for yellow, 3, a 10-point move for Blue. It would have been a 9-point move for yellow. So that's a 19-point flip right there. And even after winning this flip, Blue wasn't ahead. They only claimed the lead by taking this ruin here. Could be mad, actually. Let's take a look after this replay. If Krish is still there. If not, at least for our amusement. Yeah, considering there were still 3 caps to close this city, so if blue doesn't address this situation, a 50-50 shot for yellow to get at least 2 caps. He does so, doesn't take the 6-point field. Yeah, and taking the field would have been too early anyway, and this is not the tile to do so. So yeah, seems to be right, this as well. Again, blue not getting road ends, yellow getting perfect tiles. And then yellow went for the monastery. Should they have done something differently? Like, for example, yeah, and they should have actually taking this monastery spot here, which doesn't grant a prime attack. This here, of course, is still available, but would need either the curve or the Dorito and then the vanilla to connect. Nope, I did not want to kill the monastery here. And well, stuff like that, only if you're desperate. Yeah, let's consider this monastery by yellow. That would have been a +7 move for them. So +11. Blue closing the city up top would be +8, as they quite likely would drop a farmer immediately. At this point, at least, they could score another 4 points and maybe claim the 6-point field later if yellow can't address this. Might have still be enough. But what happened was yellow's monastery over here, which seems to be with the ill-advised idea of extending your field and adding another city. But actually, if you consider this here with the curve, for example, it would give blue a chance to attack the field and not really take away a lot. On the other hand, blue already needs the caps over there, so it's basically only the second cap or the Dorito. But still, not convinced, not convinced. Yeah, blue attacked. I'd say he had to go for this. And then yellow's fateful decision to go for the restriction over here instead of the immediate restriction up top. So this here should have been it. As you'd rather want to limit blue's continuation options there to the one and only rows. And what did happen afterwards? Well, blue got both caps. So it wouldn't have mattered, at least. With the vanilla, blue would have connected. And with the rose, they would have closed their city for a 10-point swing, right? This here is 6 minus 1 for the monastery. And up top, it's 5 points as well. So yeah, if that's any consolation for yellow, it wouldn't have worked for them to limit the city. Actually, does this change anything? Because then blue only has the cap to close there and the Dorito to connect, which might be better, because blue can't use the rose there. On the other hand, if blue gets the rose after the vanilla, so in the permutation that happened, it doesn't matter. Blue gets this one back, or would get this back, at least in this permutation, gets the meeple, and then scores 7 points with the rose on their last turn. But yeah, considering this cap with the curve turn to the right side would double as a city closure and field connection, looks to me like turning this curve to the right side would be more precise, giving slightly better chances to yellow. Yeah, and I don't think we need to check out the third game. Let's take Matt's question and check out Krishna's tournament situation. Because what I did not account for is, of course, yeah, totally right. Totally right. Let's refresh. So we have the correct result from Nallerheim here. So either with or phosphate will win. We've established that fact. One of them will leapfrog Krishna or Krishna, whatever. But Tesche here might, of course, lose versus Sporter. And Sporter won't drop below Krishna, as at worst he'd be at 7-5, games won lost, and would stay ahead of the Latvian. But if Sporter were to win versus Tesche, Texe, whatever, then in the case of a 2-1 for Sporter, 1-2 from Texe's perspective, it would come down to the opponent match wins. Let's see. Croyclef, Phosphate, Mosopal, Joao Margarido. Yeah, doesn't look great actually for Texe and Krishna. Okay, then there's a lot riding on the outcome of Viv Phosphate, as Texe played versus Phosphate and Krishna versus Viv. So, for example, if Viv were to lose against Phosphate, then the match wins by opponents would be tied. And is there anyone else that could still drop Adria as well with a Sweep. Why Guru's tiebreaker is too good. And Adria's opponent match wins quite likely will be good enough. Yeah, doesn't look like Krish will have a chance to leapfrog Adria, no matter Adria's result versus Fanatical Lime. Yeah, so basically, Krish has to hope for Taxi to lose. And ideally, in a rather clean fashion, as to not rely on opponents' match wins or even opponents' games difference tiebreakers. Don't think that is already scheduled, but let's see. No, it isn't. But tomorrow there will be at least few matches happening. I will be streaming Weave versus Phosphate again, playoff ticket at the line. And then later, quite likely, Adria versus Fanatical Lime, as well, as it looks like no one else has time to cover this. Portgard, Mosopal, quite likely not. I mean, both are done anyway, and it doesn't really fit into my schedule. Yeah. Let's keep our fingers crossed for Mosopal. Would be nice to have no player with a goose egg over here in the match wins column, right? And Portgard has no chance to make the playoffs. Then later that Adria match, Fanatical Lime with this tiebreaker, well, won't leapfrog Krisner, so is done as well. Yep, doesn't look like anyone has questions, so thanks for those who are still there and participated in the chat. I see you around. Bye-bye.